Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. Today we're back with the Vampire Counts, going to be taking on the Bretonnians, so let's get to the army compositions. I'm actually taking on Wyvern, who I believe is another Total War Warhammer YouTuber, does multiplayer content. Wyvern, if you're watching, go ahead and leave a link to your channel down in the comments there, and I'll direct people there. So yeah, we're going to be having this matchup. Definitely a lot of fun. My forces are going to be led by Emperor Palpatine, aka the Master Necromancer here, up on his Hellsteed. In terms of his spells, he's got Invocation of Nehek, Dance Macabre, and Raise Dead for a nice cheap kit, Magical Animus, and of course the Wand of Jet. We've got a Terrorgeist, 2 units of Blood Knights, the Varix Reavers Regiment of Renown, Claw of Nagash. In particular, I wanted to note here with this Claw of Nagash, the magic resistance is going to be very good against the Grail type units with their magic attacks. We've also got the Unholy Lodestone Corpse Cart and a front line of zombies with the back line of skeleton spears. So for Wyvern's Bretonnians, he's got the Fey Enchantress here. Some peasant mobs, 4 units of spearmen at arms. We've got a couple peasant bowmen with fire arrows, pretty good choice. Grail Guardians, Beast Slayers of Bastogne, and then Grail Knights, Knights of the Lion-Hearted on this side, with more Grail Knights and more Grail Knights. So 3 units of Grail Knights, Knights of the Lion-Hearted. We've got the Grail Guardians as well with the Fey Enchantress, so definitely very thematic and appropriate Bretonnian build here. So let's get the battle rolling. You can see I'm going to be pushing up and around, just kind of checking out my opponent's army here. The idea with all of these bodies is we have so much chaff for the Bretonnian peasants to get through that the Mortis engine is going to be more or less free to just kind of drain things out if it goes to a bit of a Death Star. But the Varix Reavers, of course, with their regeneration, not necessarily meant to fight other cavalry, although they can. They're more of just what I like to call a Swiss Army knife type. Shock Cav, where they're good in most situations. They're going to just charge straight into these peasant mobs here, get right involved, and then bait the Grail Knights in, or the Grail Guardians, that is, as the mainline engagement kind of gets underway here. You can see zombies shambling into peasants. This is the true battle of battles right here. And unless the Grail Knights come land a solid charge on these zombies, it'll take forever for those peasants to cut through them. Meanwhile, over on the other side, peasants opening up shots here. The fire arrow is definitely going to be very good shooting at either the Corpse Cart or the Claw of Nagash. Either one's going to be a good target. Terrorgeist about to drop his breath here. Unfortunately, due to the pathing, he's not quite going to get it. When we are getting a pitched cavalry engagement developing over on this side, you can see Blood Knight's going to charge into the side. We do hit him with a Dance Macabre here to buff up their speed and their melee attack. So they catch the Knights of the Lion-Hearted, but then the Grail Knights go and rear charge them. But then, to escalate things even further, the Terrorgeist charges into the Grail Knights, and we've also got zombies and skeleton spears following up for support as well. Meanwhile, in the mainline fight, this Corpse Cart's definitely suffering under a hail of flaming arrows. Varix Reavers pulling back, and it looks like the lady's about to drop some comet action here in the center to blow up some of those skeleton spears. Maybe did a little bit of friendly fire there, but meanwhile, over on the far side, my Grail Knights got caught out by the Grail Knights and other unit of Grail Knights here. So yeah, the Blood Knights definitely suffering. We do have some skeleton spear boys in here supporting, and we've been able to drag down a few of the Bretonnian Knights, but definitely not a cost-effective trade for me by any means. That being said, we are winning on other pockets. You can see in this other pitched cavalry engagement over here, these 2 units having to pull back here, just way too many bodies for them to deal with. The Blood Knights definitely suffered there, but we should be able to heal them back relatively well. Varix Reavers managed to shoot up through this gap and get into the back line here, and the zombie summons a little bit late by me. Honestly, we weren't fast enough to save the Corpse Cart, which went down over here, but we did manage to get some zombies to shut down those peasant archers, and the Varix Reavers also shooting the gap to get back here and shut them down as well. They're going to be very good at doing that. And yeah, not really a lot to threaten the Master Necromancer up in the air, honestly. I've just got to worry about stabilizing my army and keeping them alive. To that effect, we're going to start dropping some zombie summons in this center pocket here, since a lot of the chaff is starting to crumble away. That being said, we're doing a good job of dealing with the threats on the table, which is the peasant archers and the units of knights. You can see these two units of knights still in retreat from the Terrorgeist and the shambling hordes there. Blood Knights just kind of chilling on the side, waiting, regaining some of their vigor there. Looks like they're back on active, so they're going to be coming in shortly once more. Looks like actually going into the back line, I figured since we had these units of knights so separated from everyone else, we can go ahead and bring in what remains of the Blood Knights, the Terrorgeist, and some of these other infantry to try and drag down this isolated pocket here, while my opponent's attention is focused so heavily on the Claw of Nagash, because he's just about got it down here by focusing it with the Grail Knights from the far side, but it's still alive. It's not quite done yet. We did drop an Overcast Invocation of the Heck just now to keep it in the fight, so those Grail Knights, as they try and pull away, are going to get hit by that chilling aura, and then also my opponent's going to be inclined to charge back in here with them to try and take down that Mortis Engine. However, that does leave these units isolated out here to get taken down and terrified away by the Terrorgeist, so slowly but surely we're dealing with all the various threats on the battlefield. Varix Reavers doing a great job here with the Blood Knights and the various infantry, and of course the Terrorgeist. Can't ignore that Terrorgeist. But yeah, you can see the Claw of Nagash has stabilized its leadership, starting to regenerate a little bit more, and we're just going to keep pulling up zombies in this backline, keep bogging down these Grail Knights and letting them get drained away, and you know, all that jazz by the Claw of Nagash there. Looks like the Terrorgeist finished its work over there, as did the Blood Knights, so they're going to land home a brutal rear charge here into those Grail Knights, felling quite a few of them just straight up on the charge there. And now the pitched final stand is underway here with the Fanchantress trying desperately to support what's left of the center pocket here. Honestly, these Beast Slayers of Bastogne should just peel away from this fight. These skeletons are done for anyway against the Spearmen at Arms. They really need to peel over and start supporting this fight, trying to take down these the Blood Knights, Varix Reavers, but at this point it's going to be tough. Another Overcast Invocation of the Heck going to heal up all the units in this pocket, help regenerate some of the unit models as well. And we also do drop an Overcast Dance Macabre here just to buff up the melee attack of all the units in this pocket, so they can finally finish off the Grail Guardians, especially with their high melee defense, 58 melee defense. We do need that Dance Macabre. You can see the Terrorgeist still only up to 52 with the Dance Macabre active. Very nice comment from the Fanchantress there. You can see the Beast Slayers of Bastogne more or less completely healthy. I've essentially just avoided engaging them in combat with all my elite large units as much as possible. Now we're going to come and try and goon the Fanchantress here and finish off the leadership of the Bretonnians. With that, Wyvern is going to admit defeat, which, yeah, it was pretty much GG at that point for him. So, well played. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that one. It was a pretty close battle. Those Grail Knights definitely did a great job. Just weren't quite able to sustain in the end. We were able to catch him out in a few unfavorable situations, despite the fact that he caught me out in one. Losing this unit of Blood Knights in particular was pretty bad, but the other Blood Knights, the Varix Reavers especially, just performed absolutely solid. The Terrorgeist, of course, really helped out in that respect as well, but man, can't talk enough about how much I love the Varix Reavers. 166 kills, not exactly an anti-large type, so you wouldn't necessarily expect them to be super good against Bretonnia, but just in that pursuit of opposing cavalry, running down, you know, peasant archers, rear-charging peasant infantry, and just being an all-around nuisance everywhere and anywhere on the battlefield, the Varix Reavers are an excellent unit for that, certainly. And yeah, the Blood Knights, not a whole lot you can say that hasn't already been said about them, but they definitely are a true elite cavalry, certainly. For my opponent, yeah, like I said, Grail Knights all doing quite well. XP chevrons to go around for everyone. Grail Guardians getting an XP chevron as well. Peasants doing pretty decently, honestly. 121 and 118. Granted, they're fighting zombies mostly in the front line and skeletons, but still, you know, when your peasants walk away from the battle having got 121 kills, you know you did something right. Although I guess he still lost the battle, so maybe not. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed watching that one. It was a super fun battle. In terms of fine-tuning the lists here, this is kind of another showcase of why I don't necessarily bring infantry skirmishers against the vampires, although on paper the fire arrows seem like a really good idea, and certainly if you can protect them, they will get some really good work done. But the vampires just have so many ways to shut down infantry skirmishers. Between zombie summons, they've got knights getting around into your backline, they've got black coaches getting around into your backline. Did I mention zombie summons? So yeah, it can be really, really hard to keep them online and firing. If you can, they can pay for themselves, certainly. But personally, I probably would have traded them out for some Yeoman archers. That way they can at least run away from the zombie summons, if possible. And if you're on top of your micro, they won't get as caught up. And you know, they can run away from knights and so on. So just a little bit of build tweaking there, but honestly it's pretty bog standard kind of Fanchantress Grail tier list. Unfortunately just didn't quite work out this time, but still very well played to my opponent. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button so every time I upload a new video you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.